Welcome, gym trainers. I'm your host, Gym Leader Mia, where you can earn the crystal badge. Today we have a very exciting program on Pokemon Chit Chat. We haven't had an episode because it was about 2 to 3 weeks before Sun and Moon. I didn't want to start doing speculation rather than just our normal format. So we only have one pack of cards to open today because we have lots to talk about the new Sun and Moon games. And I want to quickly introduce you to my new plushies, Helioptile, which is straight from the Pokemon Center in Japan, and I got it from a friend of mine for my birthday. So very excited to have Helioptile on board. And we also got a Pikachu plushie, which I actually only have one other Pikachu plushie that my mom got me when I was very, very young. So it's exciting that I have a little fluffy lying down Pikachu which can be on my couch. Last Thursday, the day finally arrived. My friends and I headed to one of the EB games in town and we dressed up, as you can see. Well, maybe not right now, but I cosplayed Trainer Leaf from Fire Red Leaf Green. It was such a fun night. We were battling and competing and just talking about Pokemon. I didn't do very well in the matches, but I was really happy to walk out with this stunning poster, which is double-sided. So the one is landscape, which are the islands of Alola. So I really like that. And then this drawing style is amazing. I can't tell you how much I like that. So hopefully I'm doing this right now. Okay. So we're going to talk about game mechanics. If you haven't played any of the Gen 7 games, don't worry, there's not going to be plot spoilers. I'm not even going to tell you the egg that you get from the nursery, what it hatches into. It literally focuses on those little nitty-gritty things that really improves your gaming experience, and it's some things that really suck at the same time. So I played it Friday midnight after I got home. I played for about 40 minutes just to start my adventure, and I want to admit to you, I was wrong. I'm very sorry. My whole fire starter thing, that I always use a fire starter because you never get any fire types in the game, I was absolutely utterly wrong. There are so many fire types. It starts with you get a Growlithe really early in the game, and then there's just so many other fire types to choose from Fletchling to the new lizardy Pokemon. I think it's Sandalot, that one. And I still chose Litten because the whole fire thing that I had in mind. And I really like Torracat, and I don't think I'll evolve it into Incineroar for quite some time because I like little Bell, I like its stance, its, attack mode, and I called my Litten Peppercat. So if any one of you remember when us 90s kids were growing up, there was a show called Metabots, where Metabots had a specific character that had a really raspy voice, and her Metabot robot thing was called Peppercat. And as soon as I saw Litten, I'm like, yes, I have a great nickname for you. So maybe that also spurred why I chose Litten. But I was wrong. I need a water type desperately. And the water type is one of my favorite types of Pokemon. So I can't tell you how disappointed I am that early in the game you don't really get a good water type. At the moment, I have a Slowpoke in my team and I'm actually not very fond of it. I didn't catch I did catch a Wingull for my Pokédex, but I didn't choose Wingull because I had a Pelipper in my Sapphire game, Emerald game. My mom had one in Black and White, and even a little bit in Omega Ruby I used a Pelipper. Not too much because Gen 6 wasn't very good to Pelipper. But I just want to use new Pokemon, and the game at the start makes that a bit difficult because you have a limited amount of Alolan Pokemon and quite a lot of Kanto Pokemon. But what I really like is that you also get lots of Johto Pokemon available to you quite early. And not predictable, because I thought, oh, it's going to be like Black and White where you get Mareep, and I'm going to be really disappointed. I was really happy about it in Black and White too, that you could get a Mareep. But I thought it's too quick again to get a Mareep that early in the game. So now we have Magby, Ledian, which is my mascot, so I was very happy to... I actually used Ledian for quite a while in the game. I knew I was going to swap her out eventually, but it was nice to use her at the start of the game because she's my mascot and I'm very fond of her. Munchlax that you get through the event, it ends on the 11th of January, and Snorlax is this bulky beast in my team. Like, if I think I'm gonna lose, I just put boom, Snorlax out there and they can just punch and hit and nah, the HP does not drain. So I'm very, very happy, and thank you Game Freak for that wonderful Munchlax. And I'm really trying to use Pokemon in this playthrough that I haven't really used, so I'm also quite keen to encounter some Sinnoh Pokemon, which at the moment doesn't seem very likely, but at least some Sinnoh Pokemon, because I never played the whole Gen 4 game, so just watched the anime. So, what I would give now to actually get a Buizel, because I never had to use a Buizel, but I'm very fond of its design and character in the anime, so that would have been really awesome. But I'll let you guys know if you get some more water types. So I've changed my opinion on the starter for just Generation 7 at the moment. I actually think Popplio is the way to go, because we don't get that water type early in the game. Rowlet I still think is great, but you do have access to grass Pokemon, although still not a bad option if you're holding out for that ghost type. I have a Vikavolt in my team. It's not quite a Vikavolt yet as my electric type, but even if you've only recently started playing the game, you'll already realize there's a lot of cutscenes. Now I don't really mind the cutscenes as such. It's more that you'll still be walking and Lily, Professor Kukui's assistant, will be there, and then you'll be walking towards, and then boom, cutscene, and then it'll start turning, and she'll say one sentence, and boom, it'll go back to being normal. It's disruptive. Stop doing it. We don't like it, or I don't like it. It's very strange. And also, if you just walk through the street, if you just end up at the last part of the street, and you go further, then boom, cutscene, next street. Like, it's like having a gate. I really like in Hoenn where you have that continuous flow when you walk. And of course, if you go from city to route, it does that and that's still okay. I just find that it's worse in this game, because in one street you can even have a cutscene, and it's just that little bit disruptive. But in saying that, overall, as soon as I start the game, I love the relaxed feel of Alola. I'm not feeling stressed at all. I recently finished my uni semester for the year, and boy oh boy, I needed this getaway to Alola, because I'm not going on any holidays as such, but I really feel like Alola has this holiday vibe to it. One of the things I really like is the menu. The new menu screen is quite expansive, and you get to do a lot of different things. There's a quick link where if you want to trade with someone in close proximity, boom, there you go, trade, all done. But if you want to go to the GTS or the Wonder Trading, you have to go into the Festival Plaza, which kind of looks like the Walt Disney Castle, and I haven't explored it as of yet since I'm still going through the game, but I've already Wonder Traded a Pokemon and done some things through the GTS. I'm a little bit disappointed in Pokemon that they haven't fixed the GTS in terms of asking for a legendary for a really commonly found Pokemon, and I do hope that when they renew the whole system with Pokemon Bank in December, January, that they will fix that problem and really make it so that if you ask for a legendary, the person is willing to trade you quite a common Pokemon for a legendary, or that legendaries and mythical Pokemon can all not only be for a mythical legendary Pokemon, or at least above level 50 more common Pokemon, so at least you get a strong Pokemon for a legendary, I guess. The whole character customization thing I think is fantastic. I actually customized my character and it started looking a lot like my X and Y character, so I went back, did it again so that it actually looks more like I look, and I think I got that down pretty successful, so I'm really happy with my character. You can put makeup on now, which is, I guess, super girly, but I think that's really fantastic, and it makes a lot more sense that you can, you know, change your lip color, change your eye color, because it says put in contacts. The only weird thing is that if you choose, for example, a hairstyle or a different shade of a color of eye, you have to actually select it and then see what it looks like, and then save, turn off, go back if you don't like it. It would have been nice if you could just select it and see what it looks like they do in the clothes store. So if you want a different pair of pants, then you can see the pants. But with the makeup and the hair thing, you just have to say, oh, I want chopped off hair, la 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 la, and then if you don't like it, it's like, I hate this, I just spent so much money, and then you have to save and restart. It's quite a petty thing, I guess, to pick on, but I think it's pretty annoying. But I'm pretty happy with my character. I probably won't be doing a lot of changes now in the future. I think the best thing for me about the games is actually the detail they put into the surroundings. There's full-on houses with nothing that you need to find, which I guess you can put that as an annoying point, but it's just this atmosphere of this is a real world. You are now in the Alola region. You are going into a house and there's not going to be anything for you to find, but there's going to be a family and they're going to be doing things, and there's going to be stairs and there's bathrooms. There's actually toilets now in the Pokemon world, which is super weird actually, because I never even thought of that, and now I do, and now I think, oh my goodness, what did my character do in Sapphire? But yeah, the music, I like how they refreshed some themes. I don't like that all the encounter themes are the same. That might change. I was hoping that from island to island encounter themes are different. And speaking of encounters, why do ace trainers now look like bird keepers? That really confuses me, because we have bird keeper Toby and ace trainer Liam, who's great friends but not anything alike in terms of content, and they're both two of my favorite PokeTubers, but now my ace trainers look like bird keepers and bird keepers look like ace trainers, which confuses me a lot. But I like the new designs where the character will start when it wants to battle in a happy face, or like a pose like, you know, oh, I'm gonna fight you, or you know, have the Pokeball and go like, fight me. But then at the end, if they lose, they're like, oh, like, oh. You know, they really have a sorrow expression. It's, oh, there's a tourist that take a selfie like, oh. And yeah, that was kind of funny, but I thought it was a good touch. So I think the personalization of a lot of NPCs are fantastic. Actually, the whole feel of the game reminds me a lot of a PC game. Tomb Raider definitely, especially when you go into the jungle area. The way the character moves, maybe not quite like the swinging bit, but just, I don't know, I just get that whole Tomb Raider feel to it, which I like. It's that let's go on an adventure and explore, and it's extreme, and the wild battles are actually difficult. Do you remember just going through the first few routes and just going, yep, I can beat you, what, and getting experience like nothing else. But I find the wild encounters quite difficult, especially because I can't always remember from the trailer what types they are, but it's not really the type thing that throws me, it's just that they're quite resilient. And a lot of people say that they don't like the call for help, which I can completely understand. Since last night I tried to catch a Magby and it just kept on calling for help, calling for help, calling for help, and I didn't want it to faint, but it actually did some decent damage on my Pokemon. I even fainted a few, which got me even more annoyed. So I definitely see the structure behind the calling for help, and I did like it until this Magby happened. I liked how you can gain a lot of experience, and especially if you want a shiny hunt, which I've never specifically tried to like chain fish or something, but I might be more willing to do it if I think, oh yeah, I can just use, you know, Snorlax and hold back and just wait for them to call the whole time. So we'll see, maybe we can do that on the channel. I will be doing a collaboration quite soon about the best looking shiny Pokemon, so if you're interested in that, don't forget to subscribe. Early in the game, you get to do the trainer school challenge, which I won't go into, but I thought it was a lot of fun this early in the game to have a side quest, and you don't feel rushed in the game. I don't know, like, please tell me in the comments, do you feel rushed in the Alola region? Because a lot of the previous games I thought, okay, I finished this gym, I want to get to the next gym because I want to get stronger, and da 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 da. And in this game, you get stronger by fighting a lot of wild Pokemon, and there are a lot of. I think that the best improvement is that after you catch a Pokemon, you can swap it out with either a party Pokemon, or you can put it straight in the box, and you can take away the item. I think this is great because, okay, one, you can sort of exploit that, because if you're in the grass and you realize, oh shit, but this one Pokemon doesn't have any chance against any of these because of a type difference, you can catch a Pokemon and swap out your fainted Pokemon, which is great, except then the other wild Pokemon you just caught, its HP would be a bit down, but you can heal. I mean, it won't be fainted. And so, except for exploiting it, I just think this is a fantastic feature, because when I was going on one of the earlier routes that were quite long, there was a Pokemon that I immediately wanted to start training, and if I was in the earlier games, I would have to wait to get to the next Pokemon Center or backtrack all the way and then go and fetch that Pokemon. So I think this is fabulous, which goes hand in hand with that little Y button that's so lazy to just throw the Pokeballs at the Pokemon. I think that's a great addition and really makes the gameplay a lot easy and simple. whereas the combat to that is obviously the calling for help Pokemon. Although at first I didn't quite think that the totem Pokemon would really cut it in terms of gym leaders, I think they're pretty powerful and quite a different way of shaking things up. I do hope though that if we do get a third version like Pokemon Eclipse, Diamond and Pearl remakes perhaps, or even just the next Pokemon game, which can possibly at this point, and this is completely speculation, the next Nintendo device, which is the Nintendo Switch I believe, it's not a bad idea for Pokemon to put something like Pokemon Eclipse on that, because it'll still encourage people to buy the new device but then have like an extra region or route or gameplay on top of that. I think that'll work really well. I do find it a bit annoying though that there are that many Kanto Pokemon. I know a lot of people will probably love that, but I'm trying to explore a new region, and the Kanto Pokemon are probably the ones that I'm most familiar with because we've seen a lot of them in the following games, even though I played a lot of Gen 3 and 2. I do miss the Pokemon Raider in Oros a lot, merely because I'll be running through the grass, going up the hill, getting an item, getting a TM, and then run around in the grass, and I'll never really know what other Pokemon there are. I kept on getting the same Pokemon over and over again, and just as I was exiting, a new one popped up. So I would have liked the Poke Finder, even if it's not so much to find Pokemon, just so you can see, even if the Pokédex, even if the Rotom Dex can open and say, okay, capture, just so you can see what Pokemon you can see on that route. I haven't really liked Pokédex design ever since Generation 3. I found the Fire Red Leaf Green really unhelpful, and the X and Y wasn't much of an improvement either. But I do like the Rotom Dex. I think it's really funny, and I like how it just tells you all the information you need, or if you forget where you need to go, instead of going back to some random NPC or having more time with some random character to find out what you're supposed to do next. So I think the Rotom Dex is a very clever way of doing that. I love all the Johto Pokemon in the overworld on Akala Island, because Akala Island was inhabited by a lot of people from Kanto and Johto, which Birdkeeper Toby did an excellent theory on it, and if you were scared for spoilers last week, you have the game now, so go and watch that video because it's awesome. The abundant Pokemon centers are really helpful and prevent you from using too many items, and I like that every Pokemon center you can do something different. I think the professor in his little Altoro little suit, and he kind of looked like Halucha, honestly, but yeah, I thought that was very amusing. A big thing in the game, if you haven't noticed, Super Potions now heal 60 HP. And Hyper Potions 120. For years I've been saying Hyper Potions should be 120 and not 200, and I will motivate it. Even if your Pokemon get up to the level 60s and 70s, not a lot of them have already gone over the HP max of 200. For most of the game you're going to be playing, you don't need a Hyper Potion ever. And so I usually use Lemonades from Lily Cove City. So I'm really glad that Hyper Potions are now less, because if you need more than that, you can always use a full restore. But overall, everyone, I really am enjoying Alola. A lot of people are saying that this might be the best game we've had to date, and maybe because we've been waiting so long for it, and YouTube wasn't around in terms of PokeTubers, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. I mean, we had Jaywoods and Tamashi doing information videos, but it was never about hyping up a new game coming. It was really exciting for me to be part of this, and you know, wearing my Trainer Leaf outfit and going to the pre-release party, and I just had such a good time with all of this, and it's a really feel-good game. And if you're stressed out from uni or work or from your relationship, really go and check out this game if you haven't already. We're going to quickly open up a Pokemon Generations pack card. Oh, look at poor Meowth. Magmar. Yeah, Magpie annoying. Pikachu. Ooh, Pokemon Center Lady. Oh, wow. This is out of a Darkrai pack, and it's the Jirachi Wish Pokemon. I was going to buy the Jirachi pack just for a Jirachi card. It's my favorite mythical Pokemon. It's awesome. Jinx for Christmas, Raichu, Golbat, Energy, and that's it. That's all we have. So thank you so much for watching. please comment below and interact with the channel. Comment what you like about Sun and Moon, what don't you like, what annoys you, what you absolutely love, and what Pokemon presents you're excited for this Christmas. So leave us a like and please subscribe so we can get our channel